What did your job want you to hide from customers? I was a server at my first restaurant a few years ago. You got shit for calling in sick, even if you were legit sick. If you were sick, they would tell you to go to the bathroom and do what's needed, but get back to work ASAP. If you went to the bathroom too often, sneezed, coughed, or did anything sick people do in front of customers, you got scolded. Everyone effing hated that manager. I tried calling in one time because I was struggling to survive. I was puking and shitting every 30 minutes. They were so pissed off because no one could cover my shift and said if I went home I would regret it. When I started work, I looked and felt like death. The first table I went to was a party. This lady said you don't look good, you need to go home, and when I responded with I'm okay. No one can cover my shift and I need this job, she got up and told me to follow her. As we were walking, she asked why I felt like I was going to get in trouble. She flipped her shit when I told her and walked straight to the manager like she was on a effing mission and said I am a director of human resources at Herpata. I can't believe you would let him work like this and then threaten him when he wanted to go home sick. I am going to contact corporate tomorrow for treating your staff in such an inhumane way and for putting your customers' health at risk. When he tried to respond, he was bombarded so hard by this red-hot ball of fiery Bostonian rage, I started having Vietnam flashbacks. It was so effing brutal, I actually felt bad for him. She told me to go home immediately, she even offered to buy me an Uber home, and promised me there would be no repercussions in any way, shape or form. I'm 6 feet 0 inches and at the time was pretty big, but I was honestly so terrified of this 5'0" woman. I said yes ma'am and walked right out the door without clocking out. This was in front of staff and customers. The silence was palpable and I was in the limelight. I could feel the eyes staring me down as I walked away, nearly shitting my pants from fear and my stomach hurting. I showed up to work a few days later and felt like a effing rockstar because my coworkers had the biggest shit-eating grins on their faces giving me a thumbs up. As I was walking to the back to clock in, I was stopped by this professional as F lady in a nice woman suit. She sat me down and explained that she was from HR. Basically, I was told to never fear for my employment if I needed to call in sick again and to take one more paid day off to fully recover. I was like F yeah. While I was walking out, a coworker stopped me and said, dude, F face hasn't been back to work since that night you went home. I'm pretty sure he got fired. I didn't see him again until recently when he was my server at a diner I was eating at. The look on his face was priceless. He went from being a manager at a very successful, high-end pub to being my server at the equivalent to a Denny's.